Welcome. Oh, look at that. What do you have there?
That is my yerba mate soda, Materva.
The yerba mate.
Yeah,
I had to break out the emergency drinking beer because tonight, on tonight's show, we are doing the end of Europe season roundup. We will be talking about a great many a thing, maybe even some Serie B playoffs. And
I got the Guatemalan League.
We got the Guatemalan League on deck.
That was absolute crazy.
I got the Guatemalan League on lock.
Got it on lock. And not just that, but then I will be facing court cases, apparently. I will be eating some crow a la ragu this evening. But I'm a man, so I'm here. I welcome it with open arms because I am a man. How about that? Welcome to the Twitch Pitch. Welcome to all of those who are listening either live or recorded. We appreciate all of you. It's been a very interesting season, no doubt. However, the good times are going to keep rolling. So don't worry. Soccer over there will be sticking around. There may be vacations here. There may be things there. However, soccer over there always happening. And because the news never stops. Now we leave the buffoonery of the regular season, and now we're getting into tournaments. We're getting into transfer windows. We're getting into transfer rumors. So there's no telling.
Do it live. I'll write it, and we'll do it live.
Yes, thank you, scandalous individual.
Very scandalous.
But yes, we're gonna do it live. That's for sure. So let's go ahead and open up the show. With me, as always, the incredible, the Sunshine Pumpers of the universe, along with myself. We are the Sunshine Pumping Trio of all things soccer delight. And that is John Nelson and Jason Longshore, and of course myself, Nick Alifi. Jason, where are we going to open things up tonight?
The Guatemalan League.
We can. I was going to save that a little bit, but if we want to go to Guatemala to start this thing, I mean, we might as well. First off, I'm just going to show you the wonderful logo of the new champions of Guatemala.
Beautiful.
See?
FC Santa Lucia Coatzacoalco.
They have been given the SDH Universe blessing.
Oh, and it was a blessing in their final. They came back to the first division in 2019. They hadn't been, or at least a team, because you know how teams go sometimes in Central America, like licenses get sold and moved over here and moved over there, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So that location had not had a first division team for about 20 years. So they come back in 2019. They finished fourth in the league season, and they have playoffs in Guatemala. And they knocked out a team in the semifinal. They go to the final against Comunicaciones. And if you followed the CONCACAF Champions League for any period of time, you know what Comunicaciones is. They are Las Cremas. They're one of the biggest teams in Central America. They have been incredibly dominant. You look at, for some reason, our Santa Lucia side is called Los Jaguares. That doesn't look like a jaguar on
so
the.
Is it like an Aztec, or an Incan jaguar?
No, the jaguar has nothing to do with any civilization from the past. It's just a jaguar, and actually, their mascot jaguar looks like he might have ingested lots and lots of substances, like red-eyed jaguar.
Whoa!
Yeah, it's a little messed up, but they get to this match with Comunicaciones over two legs. First leg, they host it in Santa Lucia. They win 4-0 in the first leg. You think it's over, right? It's over. I mean, 4-0. It's over.
Wrap.
No. Comunicaciones in the second leg at home goes up 5-0.
Not over.
Defense in Guatemala is a mere suggestion.
Optional.
92nd minute.
Ooh.
You get a goal for Santa Lucia. That makes it 5-5 on aggregate. No away goals. Like a minute later, a winner for Santa Lucia. The club couldn't even tweet during the second half. They were freaking out so much that they come back at the end we won, and they start posting pictures of the celebration. Nobody's sleeping in Santa Lucia. Their Facebook page was posting their exit from the stadium at Comunicaciones. Just amazing stuff. I would like to find a shirt if I could. I have not had any luck doing so just yet. This is a very small team, I am learning. A very, very small team. But they win the Guatemalan League in absolute chaos. They have a Brazilian Foreign Legion, according to friend of the show, John Arnold, who's getting CONCACAF email newsletter is amazing. Highly recommended you subscribe. Yes. They had, I don't know where they're getting Brazilians to come to Santa Lucia in Guatemala, but they found them and they're coming
they got
in.
A pipeline.
I guess. Kike Miranda is the one who gets the goal. It's a horrible defensive mistake for it to fall to him. I'm actually going to see if I can pull this up for you guys really quickly, so bear with me. But absolute madness in Guatemala. I found this team. I can't even remember how I found it. It was something that they had some golazo a week or two ago, and found it and shared it in our Twitter thread, our message thread between the guys. And after that, they go on to win a title. I think that counts as the SDH bump.
I think so.
I think it does.
I think it does. I want to see this team now in CONCACAF competition. I want to see what they can do going forward. I would love to see Atlanta United get an opportunity to go play FC Santa Lucia and the crazy red-eyed Jaguar that is a little disturbing.
That's right.
I'd like to see this mascot maybe on the field at Mercedes-Benz. I mean, if we're going to do this, let's go ahead and do it all the way through.
Look, we have the connects. We can make that happen.
We could. I think the Jaguar might not be allowed in the country, to be perfectly honest.
That's true. That's true.
It'd
be like locked up abroad for the stoned-eyed Jaguar.
Yes. All right. I think I can do this now.
We don't want that.
Share
Jaguar,
this
stay
with
home.
you. Yeah. I'm going to share this with you if I can make this work. Un momento, because it's worth it. And it's chaos. Let's see if we can get this to work right here as we talk through. This is called the producing behind the scenes that you guys are just getting stuck with watching actually play out in front of you. It's always fun.
I'm scrolling down.
Grammarly can help you write quickly
Whoa,
and
settle
confidently,
down.
so you never have to slow down at work. Stay on top of emails, documents, and
the cavalcade of automobiles and the police escort.
Mm-hmm.
All
Here we
madness.
Here we go.
All I'm saying is that the SDH bump is pretty solid. If you have been the recipient of the SDH bump, it's noticeable.
Here we go, guys. You can get a chance to see this in
The
here.
Campeón t-shirts are awesome, and I want one.
Okay.
There, you got it, Jason?
Gol, Luciano!
Are you on mute?
Just a second. We are almost there. If I can get this to turn out right. As you hear part of the celebration madness. You'll get to see the second goal now as we cut here.
Miranda media vuelta. La tiene Tales.
If you're hearing the crazy announcer go absolutely insane, that is the leveler. Cross to the backside, hitting the volley.
Gol, Luciano. Gol.
It's a nice volley at the top of the sixth.
Didn't quite get all of it, but got enough of it for the volley.
That got it to 5-5. Now wait till you see this defensive mistake that leads to the winning goal in the Guatemalan League. Here we go. Little pass, split in two. Uf.
El balón, cuidado que se viene ahora Santa Lucía. Quique Miranda recortó, vuelve a recortar. El tiro. ¡Gol de título!
Total goosebump.
If you're listening to it right now at home, you have to you need to log on and just find this clip and make it work.
I'll share the link in the
Sheer
thread.
excitement.
Con el tiempo de reposición, con esto, Santa Lucía es el nuevo campeón. Rigo, juega conmigo.
Ya, Quique Miranda, usted lo mencionaba cuando ingresó, un jugador que
It's
está
a good
preparado
hit
para
once
este
he
tipo
creates
de
the
finales.
space, but
A veces pareciera que
this
no está,
defensive
pero
mistake
ve
right
en
here.
el error esa oportunidad de con ese amague que pasa Robinson y la manda al ángulo con un remate potente. Inalcanzable para el canche, se queda estático porque el potente remate de Quique manda la pelota al fondo de la red y con este gol ya es Santa Lucía el campeón. Comunicaciones la tenía ahí cerquita porque le había dado vuelta ese desgaste que había hecho todo el
Santa Lucía termina el encuentro.
7 minutes of stoppage.
Vaya final.
Kinda chaos.
Santa Lucía, los.
There you go. There's your glimpse into Guatemala of chaos. Yeah, Mateo was struggling a little bit.
Yeah.
Sorry, Will. It was a little loud. He was excited. I don't even know if I had it that loud. I think the guy was just that excited, to be perfectly honest.
Look, we cover everything here.
We do.
It's not just we're not Euro snobs. We just don't cover the European leagues and whatnot.
I thought I was just the Anglo. Is it the Anglo snob? I guess.
No, you are the English snob, actually.
Yeah.
Like, that is true. You do include other things into your English snobbery from time to time.
This is true.
But you are the English snob. There's just no way around it. Suboptimal defense, 100% correct. It was
yes,
not
that
ideal.
that is truly accurate.
Not ideal, but they did find the way. No understanding. Will, that's nothing normal. Like, hearing Nick and I talk and not understanding what we're talking about, that's like a normal Monday, right?
It is.
That's just common.
This is very true.
Yeah.
We try to do. We've kind of. I don't know. I don't want to say we've given up on trying to make, but I think at this point we've sort of developed our own language.
Yes, we have done that. That is absolutely accurate. I've got to find a picture of this drunken, high, stoned Jaguar, whatever it is.
Yeah. I need to see this instead of the Mayan.
I like the Mayan thing. Like, I'm good with the Mayan thing, but the stoned Jaguar was a little disturbing.
Is it kind of like 8-Ball, the Clemson Tiger mascot kind of thing, or worse?
Maybe. Man, I need a close-up of this guy.
Why is Clemson?
Nuts.
I'm going to start a fire here in the Twitch pitch. Why does Clemson allow themselves to have a raggedy mascot like they do? I just figured they could do better.
Oof. That's harsh.
I don't know if it's just. I guess they deal with tradition instead of updating it, and they just sit there and they'll.
Right.
It's like, okay, hey, here it is.
Right. It's like this is the same tiger costume we've been trotting out since like 1954.
And it's probably this, and it probably is the same tiger costume since 1954.
I mean, good for them. I mean, if that's your thing, I dig it. But
I mean, I know three of the assistant coaches. Actually, no, I know 5 coaches on that staff. So, yeah, it's.
Here's your crazy Jaguar.
Okay.
A locked up abroad Jaguar.
Yeah, you're not getting the greatest shot of its eyes. It's got crazy eyes.
Yeah.
It's got crazy eyes, a little bit of a crazy face. But it is the new Guatemalan champion. And it's very exciting for
and the SDH bump did it again.
Yes, kind of an accidental bump this time around, but it worked. They beat the Casper, the friendly ghost-looking mascot from Comunicaciones in the final.
Oh, poor Casper.
I like the crazy Jaguar.
Well, I know you do. I'm just saying I always had for Casper, friendly ghost as a kid.
But it's like a bootleg Casper.
Oh, okay. So it's the bootleg. Yeah, all right then. All right. Less sympathy then.
A couple more comments, Will. But like usually I can understand the individual words. Then it was just unintelligible grunting. Again,
right.
Every single Monday. That's how we do this.
Yeah.
Thing. Yes.
So it fit right in.
Here's what's wild with. I'm going to chalk it up to connection, which is really crazy because the AT&T fiber box is literally across the street. Like, I'm pointing to it right now. If it wasn't for these bushes, I would see the box. And so for there to be this much, disastrous communication between here and there,
It's like get out the sand wedge and hit the target.
You don't even need a sand wedge. You could putt. If you putted hard enough, you could hit it. I'm just throwing that out there.
Not bad.
So yes, it might be Mateo though. We might need to have some conversations with Mateo.
It was a little bit because it was a lot of chaos. There was a lot of excitement about Santa Lucia, a lot of madness. So Mateo apologizes, but he was really excited. Katie says that Jaguar needs some of what Gritty is having. Which is, yes, that is true.
Everybody needs what Gritty's having. Gritty, my God, he's on some different stuff.
That Jaguar could hang out with Gritty. They could have a good time.
They probably could.
Could you imagine where Gritty and that Jaguar get their stuff from?
I don't even want to know.
Nope, I don't want to know.
I mean,
because I don't even want that kind of heat coming at me.
Mm-mm.
So I'm nope.
Yeah, I don't want that at all. I ordered food like an hour ago and it's still not here, and I'm kind of irritated. It was supposed to be here an hour ago and it's not here. So this happens again.
But in your bailiwick, there's like some road construction that is trimmed.
Fair enough.
Two lanes to one on a major thoroughfare, and you have the policia underneath the stoplight, so the stoplight isn't even registering. You're not even supposed to pay attention to it. Is you get the policia sitting there, and they're not even they're actually, you know what? They're timing it like some stoplights we know, where it's like only 10 seconds one way and then 2.5 minutes the other way.
Right.
And you're stuck in line in that 2.5 minute. You're waiting for the signs to change to where they can sit there, and then they go like this, and you start working your way through the intersection, but you're waiting, and you've had a birthday.
That's a very fair point, and no, it is not from Panera again, Will. It was from another establishment using Postmates, and it is very possible that they got stuck in the crazy utility construction, but it's on the way. So when I kind of dip out and go get the food, and I might like sit off camera and eat while I'm talking to you guys.
I think Ropes did us a public service.
Ropes found the shirt, and the Santa Lucia shirt is amazing. It is a beautiful, like, split light blue and dark blue down the front, and the like real Jaguar is like on the side coming around to the front. I mean, it's almost like Ricky Bobby's car.
Oh yes, there we go.
It's beautiful, and it needs to be mine, and I don't have it yet.
Oh, that's strong. Well done, Ropes.
Santa Lucia, Guatemal guapa.
The Twitch pitch, I will take, and I know this is sacrilege to say here in the city, but I will take Pepsi challenge with any other group out there. Our Twitch pitch is the best.
If I needed a lifeline on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, I'm set with the Twitch pitch.
Throwing down the gauntlet. Putting it out there.
I am set. I figure since we're in this region, I don't even know if John prepared anything for this. I think we can probably make it up if not. He's looking a little scared. Let's see what happens.
Oh, man.
Conca 5!
Well, let's start with Liga MX because we actually have some action later tonight that we can look at for Liga MX in Liga MX Femenil as they start their two-legged final. In the Clausura playoffs, we had semifinals over the last handful of days. Pachuca, Cruz Azul, and Santos Laguna Puebla started off with Pachuca and Cruz Azul in a goalless draw. And then Cruz Azul only gets the one goal in the second leg, but that's all you need. And so Cruz Azul makes it to the final. Puebla, Santos Laguna, they went into leg one at home as a minus 159 favorite. They took full advantage of that. They ended up getting 3 on the board in the first leg of the Clausura. And so all they really needed to do was show up and survive at Puebla, and they did. Puebla got 1 goal on the board. They were a favorite, but 3-1 in the aggregate. So your final in the Clausura is Puebla. No, it's not Puebla. It's Cruz Azul and Santos Laguna.
No.
Santos Laguna won 3-1. I was looking at boldface print. Santos Laguna won 3-1 in the aggregate. Cruz Azul wins 1-0 in theirs. and it is on the 27th. So it is this weekend. This weekend, I dare say, where
Two
you
games.
end up with so first leg is the only one we have the numbers on right now. The only one we have juice boxes.
Yeah,
for.
they want to save the other juice boxes for waiting and seeing.
So Santos right now at home in the first leg on Thursday. They are at a plus 146. Your draw option is a plus 233. Cruz Azul is a plus 167. So interesting that the juice box folks are giving Santos Laguna the edge at home in the first leg.
Have you seen Cruz Azul's history?
The Cruz Azuleada, yes.
Yes. Are we going to be saying this at the end of this final?
But they are who we thought they were.
Are we going to be saying that about Cruz Azul, or are they going to get it done? Go on the record and make your prediction, John.
Oh, I think that they actually do get it done this time. I think that you get that Boston Red Sox, Chicago Cubs mystique, and it goes out the window. I think that Cruz Azul gets it done by the time we're over, because if you were the number 1 seed and you've made it all the way to the final, Club America gets knocked out, your path is clearer.
It's clear.
You aren't facing the 2. And if you were watching 2 to NA and practically every single pundit show they had after the semifinals, is Cruz Azul going to win it? That's basically the question that they've led with the entire time. Or are they going to have another Cruz Azuleada and not win it when the path was clear for them to get the Duke? That's the biggest question. I think they're going to get it done. I think the first leg's probably going to be a draw if you're asking me for Thursday. This is not going to be the game that I'm going to choose this week, though, when we get into picks. But I think that Cruz Azul gets out of there with at least a draw, and it'll be interesting with Santos Laguna. Leg 1 of the Liga MX Femenil Clausura is tonight at 10 o'clock on Universo.
Here we go.
Chivas and Tigres. Chivas at home is a plus 346. Your draw is a plus 338. Tigres, the prohibitive favorite, at a minus 179 going in. When you go back to the other legs that leads us to this 2-leg final, Chivas had Atlas in the semis, and they won 2-1 with the home leg last time out back on the 17th. Tigres, prohibitive favorite all the way through. They went through with Monterrey. It was a 2-2 draw in Monterrey in leg 1, won 4-1 in leg 2. And so putting up a big number there, 6-3 in the aggregate. They were a minus 217 at home heading into that second leg. So you get those two. And the way that it has, Tigres really, they have motored through. They beat the 8th seed. They're the top seed, by the way. In the 1 versus 8 in the quarterfinals against Club America, they won 6-0 in 2 legs. In the semis, they won 6-3 with both legs, and now you're going to have the 2-legged final. Chivas made their way through as the 2 seed, prohibitive underdog here in leg 1. They beat Toluca, the 7, in 2 versus 7. They won 4-0, and then they won 2-1 against Atlas in the semifinal to get us to this point. NBC Universo tonight at 10 o'clock, and so that's where we are with things in Mexico.
I like that Bernd is already questioning you. He says Santos Laguna will win.
Okay.
All right.
He's already throwing shade. The alliance is breaking up.
Of the relationship.
Yes.
I was about to say, yeah. Is this is like on WWE when the faction, like, they have that one minor bump and then you start to see the writing on the wall. You're like, yeah, somebody's set for a singles run.
Yeah.
Like when so I would have said, was this like MJF working his way out of in AEW, where he goes off and he creates his own little faction? Is it like that?
Maybe
it might be. Bernd is that kind of guy. He has the brilliance to do so.
I can see it.
I think Bernd could do it.
All right, and now we've got a really good shot of the crazy Jaguar up in the upper left of the screen. He's going to hang out with us the rest of the night. Anything else from CONCACAF?
I was going to talk about Costa Rica.
Oh, our friends in Costa Rica. Alo Alenze, what happened to them?
Do you have the prices? Well, actually, no. I was going to say, you don't have the prices right, Sounder, because that would get us in trouble. Is there anything that is as negative but not copyright infringed? There you go. Alo Alenze loses, they don't even make it to the final. They get bumped. What?
Keep going, but just wait. There's more. Explain.
Because you have to loop back and you get the super ending.
Super final, grand final de Costa Rica. They get another shot at it because they were the best team in the regular season.
Yeah, so in the super incredibly large grand finale, they are waiting for what happens here with Saprissa. Because, all right, so let's play it back before we get to the Super Classico grand finale. All right, so Saprissa and Alajuelense go at it. They're on one side. Herediano and Santos, they're on the other. Mm-hmm. Saprissa wins the first leg 4-3 at home. 7 goals. Saprissa wins it 4-3. Then all they have to do is hang on in the second leg, and they bump out Alajuelense. They do. It was a 2-2 draw. So they win 6-5 in the aggregate. Absolute madness for those of you that might have caught it on CATV. It was tremendous to watch Alajuelense finally get losses on the board. And then you had Herediano knocking off Santos with theirs. Herediano won at home 2-1, held on for a goalless draw in leg 2. And so then yesterday, Saprissa beats Herediano 3-2. So that's where we are right now as we await the next one there. We have the relegation battle going on right now, and that's going to happen next tomorrow. Sporting San Jose and Limon. Sporting San Jose is a favorite at home. Tremendously awful football when it came to the standings down at the bottom. You had Sporting was 6-5-11 at 23 points, and the thing was is that you had 4 teams separated by 2 points for this one relegation spot. Limon was awful, and they lost their last 5 to get into the bottom of the table. So we still have relegation to figure out in Costa Rica, and yet we also have the Super Gran Final Clásico El Grande as Alajuelense waits the winner of what happens on the other side that they didn't even make.
The craziness with the Costa Rican format, so if you win the regular season, you basically get a do-over if you lose the final. You get the grand finale bonus opportunity. Katie, I believe, and it keeps changing, so I don't have it in front of me. I believe that the champions of Costa Rica get preferential treatment going into CONCACAF League to then play their way into the CONCACAF Champions League. But that could change with just the effects of everything with COVID and what it looks like for this upcoming CCL. So stay tuned. But they have to go through the CONCACAF League. But I think being a champion of one of these smaller leagues gets you some kind of preferential spot.
So that's what we're waiting for the other stuff out of Costa Rica. And I think that was like 8 minutes as opposed to 5. So
it was long. I was interrupting you, but it's chaos as usual.
So
go ahead.
It was a Conca Ocho.
Sure. Nelson. It happens. Okay. We have allowed Nick Alifi to gather his thoughts for as long as he needs them. Juventus somehow did this. Somehow, Cristiano Ronaldo was tired. He had a bad night's sleep. He said, "I'm
out loud.
No, I'm out." And they didn't need him. Juventus gets the win, and our good friend of the show, we wish, Gennaro Gattuso, couldn't get it done at Napoli. He was relieved of his duties. At least it wasn't completely crazy from De Laurentiis. He didn't say crazy things on Twitter. He actually said nice things. But right. Gattuso is out. Napoli did not qualify for the Champions League. And somehow Juventus, at least for now until they possibly get banned, are in the Champions League.
Good. Whatever. It happens. I'm not... what are you going to do? You have to take the wins where you can. The major win here is that, yes, Juve still won silverware this year. They still qualify for Champions League. However, they still have tremendous financial issues at this club that they're going to have to sort. They're still going to have to sort whether or not Andrea Pirlo is the person who's going to be coming back to handle this. There's talk that other managers are circling, and they're waiting to see what's going to happen. We've seen Gattuso's name floated out there for Juve. There's 0% chance that's happening because it's either going to be Pirlo, Zidane, or Allegri. Allegri's going to have relations. Zidane may want to come back to Juve to get them to wherever they claim the top is. And outside of that, the issues with Cristiano Ronaldo, I think, are running a bit deeper than are necessarily being tossed out there.
Yeah.
Had they not made Champions League, without question, Ronaldo's gone. But according to sources close to the club and being reported through several outlets, Ronaldo has said, I accomplished what I wanted to accomplish at Juventus. Okay. When has he ever said that and stuck around?
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so there's also images of cars being loaded up at his house and being shipped to somewhere else. And I will tell you a very brief story.
Hold on. We have a little bit of... let me get the right sounder for it. This will work. Fabrizio Romano.
Are we going?
Not long ago. Not going yet. Max Allegri's priority is always Real Madrid. He has still not accepted any bid from Italy as of today. He wants to wait for Real Madrid. Allegri is the favorite only in case Zidane will decide to leave the club. Real Madrid are also planning for some new entries to their board. That was just a couple of minutes ago from Fabrizio Romano. Not going yet, but Allegri is waiting. He wants Real Madrid.
Good for him. If he thinks he... I don't know how much of a success he will be at Real Madrid. You're talking about a guy who's been out of management for a long time, and then he's going into one of the most toxic cauldrons in sport. So if he thinks he can, he has the minimals to step up to that job, va con Dios amigo. But I will say that. I will say that. Back to my story that. I used to work in news distribution, which meant that we took in feeds from all over the place. And then in some situations, we would go and mine stories as well. I mean, it could be anything from Reddit sources, Twitter, or wherever. And so a colleague of mine said, hey, Nick, I'm seeing this on Reddit. What do you think? And it was LeBron James at the time. He was in Miami, and there was a truck parked outside of his house, and they were loading his supercars in. And I'm like, he's gone. There's no way in the world that someone's moving all these supercars for an off season. There's no way in the world. And we started calling around, and we called up SI, and SI said, no, we're not really interested in this story. Now, keep in mind, this is when LeBron James was in Miami. And Sports Illustrated said, nope, we're not interested. We appreciate it, Nick. Thanks. We called up Fox Sports. And Fox Sports said, give us everything you have on it. So we gave them all the details that we could mine. We were pulling up Twitter people. We found the movers who were actually doing the moving.
Nice.
And so we started digging up everything on it. We're like a little mini CIA. And sure enough, using Fox Sports, we scooped Sports Illustrated on their own story. The business department had been left out of what the print side was doing. And the print side had called in LeBron. They had him in the infamous black suit on the I'm going home, and we scooped Sports Illustrated on their own story. The whole short story long, you're not investing this kind of money and energy into a massive logistical shift of moving supercars from one place to another unless it's a long-term move. I firmly believe that Ronaldo is leaving Juventus. I believe it. Did I say I had the movers information in this situation? No. However, my gut is screaming that he's going to leave. Now, where does he go? That's the next question. Could it be back to Manchester? I don't know. That just doesn't feel like that's the situation for me.
That one's out there. The Athletic said that Manchester United are monitoring Cristiano Ronaldo's situation. Agents connected with Ronaldo say, quote, he could genuinely leave the Turin club.
Mm-hmm.
That part's accurate.
Yeah, so I could see him, I don't see him necessarily going back to Madrid. However, if we want to play the game of where will he go, it's either Portugal, Manchester United, or Real Madrid. I don't see him going anywhere else in Spain. Paris, you have to keep on the map because when you start seeing the Aguero signing with Barcelona, it looks more and more like Messi's going to stay. If PSG feels like they can't get Messi, what's the next logical step? Go get Ronaldo, right? Use whatever you have left, whatever he has left in the tank to try to get you over the hump. That would be very interesting. So I think that it's Paris in this order. I think it's Paris. Then I would say Real Madrid, United, and maybe Portugal if he wants to go and have one last swan song in Portugal.
If his mom can convince him to come home.
Yeah,
his mom can convince him to come home.
It didn't feel like time for that yet.
The case. But it's a money move for him still. He's still viable. He's not coming to MLS. There's still federal charges pending, a federal case out there against him. He is not coming back here as long as that case is active. There's no way in the world that's happening. So he's not coming to MLS. But I don't think that Real Madrid isn't necessarily. I think they're wanting to go younger. I don't think they want to necessarily get older, and they don't want to necessarily be saddled with a larger contract again. PSG has no problems with any of that. And if Mbappe moves season, which theoretically could happen, you're going to need someone to come in and fill those attacking shoes. So who else other than Ronaldo get you a season or two so you can find the next up-and-coming young French talent that take a spot?
So there is a report coming out of Spain that Zidane is going to step down and Allegri will take over and it'll become final next week. That's out there. Mm-hmm. Antonio Conte is not necessarily coming back to Inter yet. There was reportedly going to be a meeting today. It could be a little bit later in the week. Him meeting with the ownership to figure out what the next step is. They want to talk about the project, et cetera, et cetera. I do want to share this with what one thing Conte said after yesterday's celebration. They get their title. Inter gets the trophy. He was asked to whom he would dedicate the Scudetto. He pointed to himself. He said...
He went Rob Van Dam on it.
He said, and of course translated, I dedicate it to myself because I know that in any case it has not been an easy path in these 2 years. I really had to get everything out of myself. There have also been times when I have doubted things and doubted myself, but we have been strong enough to go beyond everything. We have all been good, even me.
Oh my God,
wow.
That's great.
He is a control freak, and he's someone who wants maximum oversight on roster construction. He's like the Bill Parcells. He's like the Bill Parcells of Italian soccer. And for those of you who are under 35, Bill Parcells is like this legendary NFL coach.
That's your Google search for today.
Yeah, but Bill Parcells wanted total control over all aspects of player selection. The ability mainly to move players out who weren't buying in. And Antonio Conte wants the same thing. And that's where he's always sort of had issues with team presidents and sporting directors and so forth. Because he's someone who is notoriously difficult and has very difficult training sessions. And players... they're pros. They don't want that. They want a slightly easier life. I get that, but Antonio Conte doesn't. So if you can't buy into his system, he wants you out the door. Remember the issues that were coming up earlier this year. Even Lautaro Martinez, they were talking about, could he be gone? Could he be leaving? Because he and Conte apparently aren't getting along. They had a fake boxing match at toward the end of the season. To showcase for the cameras that it's all in good fun and it's all part of the thing and so it's fine. But if Conte feels that Inter, who just received a pretty significant amount of funding, are going to run into money troubles again, if he feels like they are not going to get reinforcements, if he feels like he doesn't have the ability to move certain players out who might be aging or not necessarily have bought in the entire way through, he will leave. He does. They didn't win Champions League. They won the Scudetto. He's something he's done before. It's not a big deal to him, and he will move on and he will find someone who will pay his salary. And either that or he'll take a year off and he'll wait for the next coaching side open, Roma, and he'll figure it out. So, in my opinion, I think that it's entirely possible that Antonio Conte could leave Inter at the end. And I'm guessing Jason's taken off to go get his dinner.
Yeah.
They finally
I hope that means that it's there.
Poor person sitting in traffic. How dare they?
Captain Ragamuffin asks, if Parcells is big tuna, would Conte be big calamari?
I'm willing to accept this. He's a Southern Italian anyway. I want to say he's from like Lecce. So I want to say that, big calamari can work. That story is pretty wild. Athletic that had a story on Antonio Conte and his return to Southern Italy. But it's go ahead.
No, I was just gonna finish your point because I'm just going into the Twitch pitch and reading comments for you.
Right. So big calamari can work. I think that's a very good call.
Will is in and he goes, sometimes it may be good, sometimes it may be Spurs.
Hey, they did what they had to do though. Again, the issue with Spurs has been and always will be. They win the games they're not supposed to win, and they lose the games they're supposed to win. I don't understand, like, that team has just a chronic issue, and Chiellini still has like the greatest roast of all time for them, where in like busted English with a heavy Italian accent, he's like, it is the Tottenham history, and so I mean, it is what it is, and I as long as Levy's in charge of the club and is not providing the appropriate financial resources on the field, not necessarily what's surrounding the field, but on the field, those results will continue.
And then, so Will says, so are we saying Allegri and Zidane are going to manage Juve and Real next year? We just don't know the combination.
That's the case. The issue with Allegri at Juve is that he and Pavel Nedved, who is a stalwart at the club, he played for them. He's a team legend. Juve is one of the clubs that really they do a great job, as much grief as I get them, of taking care of their past players, especially those who stuck with them in the relegation in 2006, and those who really have been good soldiers to the club. They do a great job of taking care of them. Pavel Nedved and Allegri allegedly do not get along at any level, and from what my understanding is, that one of the requirements would be that Paratici leaves and that Pavel Nedved leaves as well. So that's the hang up with Allegri to Juve. Allegri to Juve would make the most sense. It's a dynamic that he's familiar with, the expectations of the club, both from Agnelli and from Exor. He's completely familiar with this. He understands that it would be a work in progress, as there's a midfield to completely rebuild, a defense that needs a ton of help, attacking talent that's aging, or it may not necessarily be around for a while. Looking at you, Dybala, and so it's more of a project than people realize. And when people, that's why I know I give Juve grief. I don't think there's any manager outside of Pep Guardiola who could have done what Pirlo did this year with that club. I don't think so, because Maurizio Sarri won with almost the same. He won the Scudetto with almost the same, and Pirlo got them in Champions League as a rookie manager. Guy never managed a day in his life before he stepped in to coach this team. So again, I think it would be stupid for Juve to fire Pirlo. I think they're probably going to.
Yeah.
But for Allegri to step in, a lot of pieces have to be moved. For Zidane to step in, far fewer pieces have to be moved. And if Allegri wants Real Madrid anyway, if Zidane leaves, I mean, nature takes its course. So I would not want to be Andrea Pirlo right now from that standpoint, because I don't know where he goes. The good jobs in Europe, or the good jobs in Italy anyway, I mean, they're spoken for. Roma essentially went all in on getting Jose Mourinho. Pioli is not going to be more than likely leaving AC Milan. Conte is probably the one person who may be in play if he doesn't get the support he feels like he needs. That may be the one club that I think that Pirlo could go to. And again, look, I for those saying what Pirlo was in Milan for a long, the guy's a mercenary. He is. I love what Pirlo did for the Italian national team. I love what he did for AC Milan. Read his autobiography. It will change your perspective entirely on how that man's brain works. He's a snake, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but he's cold and calculating, and the brain it's very mathematical for him. There's not a lot of emotion. It's it's X, Y, Z. I'm going bop, bop, bop. And it showed up in his game. It showed up, when he's scoring Panekas, again, like in the greatest situations, when you see the infamous Gol de Grosso in the 2006 World Cup where people dancing in the 18, he's got a swarm of German defenders on him. And he just dink, that pass right to Fabio Grosso. There's no one else who could have done that. I think outside of Messi, because he was so calm under pressure because he doesn't care. His brain just doesn't work that way. I think if Inter called up and said, Andrea, we want you to come and manage us, revolutionize our team, I think Pirlo would jump at it. So I think that's the one spot in Italy he would go outside, probably go abroad.
Alex Pacine is in, and he asks the question about Allegri. But does Allegri love football? Love football.
Amor football. Amor football. Yeah. I don't know if he does. He loves.
Esto es el fútbol. Ama al fútbol. Ama al fútbol.
I love that clip so much. The music behind it. It's
like, is that your final answer? Amor football.
Yes. Yeah, look, the biggest issue that you're going to have with Allegri back at Juve is Dybala. Because if Ronaldo leaves, a lot, and remember, Douglas Costa is gone now. He's at Gremio. They let him go on a free loan to Gremio. They're just trying to clear salary at this point. Mario Mandzukic was released from, they parted ways with Milan. A whole lot of good that was. But he may be back in the picture, but they have to get younger at attack. They have to. It probably wouldn't be the worst thing to call and see if Mosaken wants to come back to Juve. Ooh. I mean, that would be something you may want to do. You're going to have to invest in younger talent up in the attack. And Dybala, when he was playing under Allegri, was constantly dropping down in defense, being taken out of attacking positions. And we're not talking about a false nine situation where he drops down, helps distribute, and then facilitate the attack for someone else. He's dropping back in almost a solely defensive aspect. And by the time they would get the ball for a counterattack, his strength is not building in a counter to put shots on frame. He needs to be closer to the goal and be dynamic with his movements. That's just the strength of his game. And, I just do not – I don't think Dybala's there if Allegri comes back. Allegri he loves football, but I think he wants something greater for himself than Italy, if that makes sense. He wants Italy feels safe to him. I think it's something that he's conquered, and he feels he did really well with Milan. He did really well with Juve. He came the closest out of any of the recent guys at winning Champions League for Juve. I think he sees himself in a higher echelon of managers outside of the also-rans that are currently occupying Serie A, if that makes any sense. Yeah.
Can we
rightly or wrongly, because I don't think he is, but rightly or wrongly.
Can we go to Spain for a minute?
Let's.
So Atleti finally puts this thing away and wins the title. Finally. They let it sweat for a long, long time. They finally get it done. Diego Simeone, very, very happy. He's making the rounds talking to folks. He was talking to Vero Bernatti of Argentine ESPN, and he told the story about how they got Luis Suarez. He says, they called me from the club to see if I wanted Luis Suarez. I laughed. I said, are you serious? we're going to go crazy for him. Let me call him. And I said, look, Luis, we have to win, and you want to win. And then he ends up at Atleti, and what do? They win. They win. Barcelona, what happens to them? They look stupid. Very, very stupid.
Very, very stupid.
Just unbelievable.
Did you see the post match clip of Simeone and his daughters?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
It's good to see the human side. Like, it's as much as we make fun of the absolute insanity of Simeone. And
are we sure that his daughters weren't equally programmed?
No.
To have that response?
No, because I can tell you this. My son operates on his own wavelength.
Oh, we know.
Right.
Yeah. I'm waiting for him to come in and just slam papers right there on the desk.
He will. He's getting them drafted as we speak. My daughter is essentially like, if you just took my brain and like into her, that's what you have. It's completely possible that the kids are on the same wavelength. But when you see when you hear and Simeone even cuts ads like showcasing how nuts he is, right?
Yeah.
But you see that, and you see Suarez, who we all joke about like taking a bite out of players, and he's the Mike Tyson of soccer or whatever. When you see Simeone with his daughters, and you see Suarez crying on the pitch, it's really cool to see the human side of these characters that it's just really cool to see that. So it was really awesome to watch Atleti win this and to see that reaction, because it actually means something. It's not like, ho hum, it's another trophy for us. It actually means something. Yeah. And for a player like Suarez to sort of find meaning in the game and playing at this level, when a lot of people were like, oh, just go to MLS, Chief. You're ready. It's time for you to go. You're old. No, he's ready to be still at a high level. So good for him, and good for Atleti on taking advantage of a moment that doesn't come along too terribly often, where your opponent makes a titanic mistake because of their own stupidity. Right? It's not just a mistake because we all make mistakes, but it's one that was built out of stupidity. Like, we are so far in the hole money-wise, we got to jettison anyone who's over a certain age. Luis, you got to get out of here. Like guys, he's still talented. He still has ability. No. You got to go.
So, Atleti, sure, you can go to Atleti. No big deal.
Yeah, whatever. Who cares?
Good.
Old.
Ridiculous.
So yeah. So if that tells you anything, I mean, it's something where It was good to see, and I love anytime the heavyweights get a little shake up every now and then.
Yeah.
And it kind of rejuvenates the system. And to watch Juve fail, to watch Real Madrid fail, to watch Barcelona fail, I have no problems with it. I'm not going to say England because, again, it's like, it's Man City. It's not. And no, plucky upstarts. I'm not talking about you guys.
Oh, boy. According to RAC1, Barcelona is meeting with Ronald Koeman tomorrow. Joan Laporta and Rafael Yuste will meet with Koeman and his agent. All scenarios are open. He could still be the manager at the end of the day. He could be gone at the end of the day.
I'm thinking the latter.
You're stupid if you get rid of him. I wouldn't doubt that.
I think they get rid of him.
But it's stupid if they do.
I also agree.
They were floundering. The front office was in absolute turmoil. The players were in turmoil. We just talked about one stupid Titanic mistake that you made in getting rid of Suarez. This is a club that was adrift in every way. All of us, I'll point to me. Messi's gone. There's no way he's going to tolerate this stupidity. And Koeman comes in, leaves the Dutch national team, comes in, and provides stability and results. And if you had done that move earlier, then maybe you're not sitting at 79 points at the end. Maybe you are sitting at 84 and knocking on the door. But no, you didn't do that. And now you're going to go and double down on your stupidity maybe and get rid of him for Xavi.
Mm-hmm. I don't hate the Xavi hire if that's the way they go. I don't hate that at all. Why?
I do.
Why?
I hate it because if he was a better manager, he would be managing either in a system somewhere like Pep was doing with Barcelona, or he would be at a larger club right now. He wouldn't be hanging out in the Middle East collecting a check.
He went there to work. And learn. No, I disagree with that idea.
I think there's better places to work and learn.
Could have. Could have been. He might have said, hey, my ultimate path is Barcelona, so I'm not going to go anywhere else in Spain. And Barcelona is a dumpster fire of a dumpster fire right now, so I'm going to stay away from that. No, I don't. I think he would be a fine hire. I think they would have to commit to him having some time.
Yes.
He comes in more experienced than Guardiola did.
But they're not a club that is going to give you time. Because they're too far away from those roots that allowed Guardiola
But
to flourish.
the thing is, I think they almost have to because of that. I think they almost have to because it is going to be a rebuild, no matter, however you feel like it. It is going to be a rebuild, and it looks like Messi will stick around for it, and it looks like Sergio Aguero will be in as well. And Gustavo points it out, if you didn't get a chance to see it, Pep Guardiola talking about Kun Aguero. Very, very, very cool to see. Could hardly talk about him. And he a little bit kind of broke the news that it's been out there for a while.
Aguero tell you a secret.
Yeah, he's going to tell us a secret that Aguero is going to go to Barca and he's going to play with Messi. Mm-hmm. Ultimately, if Messi wants Ronald Koeman to be the manager, he'll be the manager. If Messi wants Xavi to be the manager, Xavi will be the manager. Because Messi's going to stay. There really isn't a spot that makes sense for him to go to. And he's going to have the opportunity to call the shot if he wants to. And he might not. He might not really care. But
I understand the club connections, and I understand that you're dangerously where you have the La Masia kid who comes through, who follows the legendary Dutch guy. I get it. I understand that those ties, however the marketing department wants to draw it up, are there. I do have, and this may be just an area where we just agree to disagree and keep it moving, but I have a hard time because when you are playing, when you are a player or a big name player, or you are a manager of some repute, and that name, Xavi, means something around the world, you are in a protective bubble because that money, those guys are not going to rock the boat in order to flush you out because results. It's not the cauldron that Barcelona is. It's not the cauldron of the Premier League. It's not the cauldron of Real Madrid, anything like that. I'm not inserting Italy into this because there's been nobody really outside of Juve who's necessarily been a part of that. But I find it hard to believe that a guy who's going to go from a place where he has damn near total control and protection from those mistakes and gets dropped into Barcelona, where he may be given a ton of control, but that doesn't mean you know what to do with it. I mean, you can be 16 years old and know how to drive a car, but if I put you behind a wheel of a Ferrari, you're probably going to wreck the damn thing. So what do I need to do? I need to put you in something else instead, right? And put you in a 1994 Jeep Cherokee and let you roll around for a little bit. But I just don't think that even with given all the control he wants, that the results will necessarily be there. I think if they get rid of Koeman, they're idiots. But I wouldn't be shocked if they did.
It's a weird spot because I think they're idiots if they get rid of Ronald Koeman. I think he's done enough to keep his job. But I think Xavi is the next manager of Barcelona. It'd be fine if it's another year. There's no problem with that. But I do think he's the next guy. I think Barcelona just operates differently in these regards. And the more you understand the club DNA, and Koeman does too, but Xavi, I think, understands it to a different degree and can maybe be that next guy to follow what Koeman's done to kind of right the ship in a lot of ways. What Koeman did this year was very impressive because they should not have been as good as they were this year.
No.
He did a great job to get them as far as he did. They kind of floundered at the end. Now can he keep his job and progress next year? I don't know if he'll be able to because I don't know if they're going to have the talent to necessarily progress next year. Do you give him that opportunity that I think he's deserved, he's earned? Or do you say, you know what, we're not going to be with Ronald Koeman long-term anyway. It's time to go ahead and start the Xavi revolution and let him focus on the young talent coming through. That's going to be the decision for Joan Laporta.
If you're a club out there, like Spurs, you need to wait. You need to wait. I know that you're having all these names circulating right now, and we're going to sign this guy, we're going to sign that guy. But if the name, the two names that are not at the top of your list, and I said two, I did not say three. The two names at the top of the list are not Ralph Rangnick or Ronald Koeman, you're wrong. And I don't think, because you need someone who can. Mauricio Sarri is not going to develop youth talent. He's not going to build your youth program.
Come on.
He's not.
Make it happen.
He's not. And Mauricio Sarri is a damn fine manager, but again, he had a lot of suitors and he's pushing people away. He needs time away, whatever. He's in a sabbatical. He's smoking 9,000 cigarettes a day and getting his espresso like until 4 o'clock in the morning, whatever he's doing. But if you were Spurs and Koeman or Ralf Rangnick are not at the top of your list, you are wrong. Absolutely wrong. And I draw a ring anywhere you can go to fisticuffs because it's after watching what that man did for Barcelona. I am in no way a Barcelona supporter. I don't care. It doesn't bother me. I do think it's criminal that Messi is going to subject himself to this, but he's a grown man making his own choices, so good for him if this is what he wants to do. But at the same time, if you take a guy who took Barcelona from being a damn mid-table club in La Liga and got him up to third, you're stupid. You're idiots, especially considering all the turmoil that you surrounded this man with. And he left a cush job with the Dutch national team to come and take over your toxic dumpster fire. And if you don't let this man out with like a parade and people being shot out of cannons and like trapeze artists and whatnot, you've lost your mind and you're idiots.
All right, so the sack race,
oh boy,
does not have Xavi as the favorite to be the next manager of Barcelona.
All right.
Xavi is the number 2 at 13-5.
Who's the favorite?
Mikel Arteta at 5-2.
It's even worse. Look,
I don't dislike
Don
Arteta.
Torrent.
I don't have a problem with Arteta, but Arteta's not going to Barcelona ahead of Xavi after what he's done at Arsenal. No. That's not happening.
Oh, man.
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, Roberto Martinez is your number 3.
Get out.
No.
Javier Garcia Pimienta is in China right now is your number 4. Well, tied for third at 6-1.
No.
Patrick Kluivert is 9-1.
He's at Curacao right now, filling in for Goose Hiddink.
They've got Nagelsmann at 10-1.
Get out.
Luis Enrique at 12, along with Ten Hag.
Luis Enrique's not going back there.
I love how they get a guy who's taken over at Bayern Munich and say, yeah, he's going to leave and go to Barca. Okay, great.
Drunk and stupid and moronic.
Yeah.
Way to go on that. You've been drinking and
okay, we're done. We're
well.
Oh, jeez. What's the last one?
Well, there's last ones that are just ridiculous, but let me give you who's at 14.
like Nagelsmann's not.
Three through now is been.
Yeah. Where does it go from here?
Well, no, they listed Messi at 33-1 to give you an idea.
This is what happened. Look, if you were the guys who run this and you're collecting money from clicks and ads, I salute you. No joke. But this goes to show that anybody can put any mess on the internet and bubble it to the surface if you know what you're doing.
Max Allegri at 14-1, along with Marcelo Gallardo at 14-1.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug. Cocaine is a hell of a drug. Max Allegri would be booed out of that building like within the first 15 minutes of first kick. He would be booed out of the building.
Yeah.
No, if you want to maintain the style, look, it's going to be Koeman. It's going to be Xavi. Arteta has shown us who he is, and that's not. Look, man,
he's on that right road, but I mean, you can't. Yeah. You can bring in Xavi and sell it as, he's been learning, he's been working, he's been away from everybody, learning his craft.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
If you bring in Arteta, they're going to be like, well, what's the deal with Arsenal?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just
right. I feel like Arteta has to be very careful and I know that Jason's going to dive to the screen and punch me for saying this, but he's going to risk getting into Frank the Board territory if he jumps from this job. If he jumps from this job and essentially, call it he goes to a higher profile gig and then fails out.
Right.
He has to be very, very careful about his next move because this, for Arteta, you aren't. That's the one good thing about Xavi being stashed away in the Middle East is it allows the club to craft its own narrative.
Yeah.
To say, okay, this is the prodigal son coming home. This is no different. He's came up through La Masia. He understands how we do things from a culture standpoint. He has it makes all the sense in the world. We're going to give him time to work. We may not be getting Champions League this year, but this is a rebuild that will craft our club for decades to come. That's how you sell it. If Arteta comes in and fails miserably, there is no narrative. There's no narrative other than we got a coach who did not do well at all in the Premier League, and we threw him into the cauldron here, and he failed. I mean, you're talking about we took the guy who let Arsenal be 8th and brought him in to resurrect this. There's no way in hell that flies.
Arteta's got Barcelona ties, and he can be a good manager, I think, at Arsenal or maybe at Barcelona at some point. I just don't think it makes sense right now when Xavi's out there.
Arsenal fans will go nuts.
I don't know if
they
would.
Not
That's
equating
the thing. I don't know.
When
really
I
how
say
they'll
what I'm
feel.
about to say, which is if he leaves Arsenal and he goes and he manages Barcelona's B team, and he does really well with Barcelona's B team, and in 3 to 5 years, when inevitably burns out from the pressures of managing Barcelona and this rebuild, and the drop off when Messi finally walks away, then you bring Arteta in, and he's been. And then that narrative is crafted that he's again someone who came from within, and you sort of washed away the Arsenal. I think that would
harsh.
Be a logical path. How's it harsh?
I don't think Arteta's
about that.
No, I don't think Arteta's done a bad job at Arsenal. I don't think he's got the roster to do what he wants to do.
I don't think he has. I don't think he's got the folks to.
Yeah, I want to see what he can do with the right kind of roster, and I don't know if he'll get that this year. We'll have to see.
Saddled, but the thing is if I take a world class sprinter and I put him a backpack full of rocks on him and say, okay, go run against the best in the world, are you going to win? No.
Yeah, but he would be in a better
backpack full of rocks.
He'd be in a better position to play the way he wants with Barcelona's roster than he was at Arsenal this year.
I would like to see him go somewhere else other than Arsenal then, where he's not saddled with that backpack full of rocks.
I think he's hoping that he gets rid of some of those rocks. I think that's the point, is that the rocks get swapped out.
There's one big rock at the top that's not getting moved.
Yeah. Ron Digital's very angry with you, Nick. I don't think he's a bum. I don't think Arteta's a bum at all. I think he has a bad roster.
I don't think Arteta's a bum. I just don't think that. I think that there are managers who get tied to a narrative, rightly or wrongly. They get tied to a narrative. And I don't care what anyone says about X's and O's on a field. When a manager comes in, there is a marketing job that takes place by the club who is hiring said manager, because there are inevitable warts that come along with any manager. Roma's going through it right now with Jose Mourinho, a guy who it's 3 years and out. That's been the whole thing until, and then he goes to Spurs and okay, that was terrible. Let's not repeat that. And so now he gets hired as the guy who's supposed to rebuild Roma, but Roma has to do a marketing job with him. Roma has to talk about how this guy is going to be great. He's exactly what we need. And it's a harder sell. Xavi, because he's been incubated in this bubble in the Middle East, there's not a lot of game tape. There's not a lot of, any sort of negative press surrounding it. Yep. You can bring him in. And again, I don't agree with that hiring.
I do.
But it's easier to do the marketing job with Xavi than it is with Arteta. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying Arteta's a bum. No.
Okay.
I'm saying that's like I would hire. But
I understand you now. I got you. I think Xavi's the easier hire. And if they're not comfortable going forward with Koeman, you go get Xavi and you move forward. I think there's going to be a bit of a rebuild. I don't think they're going to come into the season and say we're not going to make Champions League. I think they have to be in Champions League. So they've got to walk that line.
Eventually they need,
They've got to walk that line. I don't think they can miss Champions League at all. I think financially they can't. So they've got to walk that line kind of like Juve did this year, where they do get younger, they do get rid of some dead weight, but they've got to be good enough to finish top 4 in Spain because the financial ramifications of that are huge. So it's a pressure-packed situation, and Coleman, I think, deserves the opportunity to continue with it. He had them very close this year to winning a league title. Fell off at the end. Did better than anybody expected. So they should get that. He should get that opportunity. If not, I think it's Xavi's job, and it's that simple. Gustavo says with Messi at a good level, which he still is, it's pretty ridiculous. With Messi at a good level, let anyone coach except the front office.
Yes,
it doesn't really matter.
We have to. We can't just take in again the X's and O's here. We have to. Fact that their financials in play here because Barcelona has been so stupid, which is, anyone who says Barcelona has not been stupid, you're a fan and I love you and I appreciate you, but you haven't been paying attention. They've been making really dumb financial decisions for a very long time, and if you have to make Champions League, and now is not the time. If you want to talk about if they make Champions League next year and get their finances right. And then you want to let Koeman walk and you want to bring in Xavi, that's fine. In fact, I would call and start laying that groundwork with Xavi right now. But you have to make Champions League next year. It's a non-qualifier if you don't.
Yeah.
And so stability is the key for that.
Gwen totally agrees.
Yes. Gwen's down with that.
Yes. Gwen absolutely agrees. Gwen's a big fan of Xavi. Wants to make that abundantly clear. John, tell us about how everything finished in England.
Oh, England. The Premier League. With the relegation battle already figured out. Everybody's like, okay, so we know who the champ is. All we're waiting for is the trophy presentation. We know the relegation battle is.
Mm-hmm.
Then the fun begins. You know who the 1 is, and then you're trying to figure out the 3, the 4, the 5, the 6, the 7, and the 8. Yes. So, after everything that happened, Liverpool, by the way, won their last 5.
Good for them. 69
points. They end in 3rd place, so they will return to the Champions League next year.
I can't help but notice, John, if I may.
Yes.
Over the course of the last 5 games,
yes,
the Liverpool supporters who grace us with their presence in the Twitch pitch,
yes,
and on Twitter and whatnot, they were very quiet 7-8 games ago, but they seem to have picked up in volume. Over the last 5 games, I do find that very interesting.
Yes, Nathan Pugh on Twitter was definitely quite excited over the sprint to the finish for Liverpool.
Right,
and you have folks like Captain Ragamuffin on the Twitch pitch, equally as excited. And
good for you. That's nice.
And Chelsea wins 3 of their last 4, despite losing to Aston Villa on the last day. And they lose 2-1. But because of other folks not as fortunate, then Chelsea gets the 4. So Chelsea goes to European football. So that means
big time European football.
So that means that somebody who had already won a trophy didn't quite finish well.
Somebody may have predicted that.
When we were discussing who we thought was going to be the 3 and the 4 and who was going to be the 5, I think we pretty much had figured out. A lot of us had thought that who finished the 3 and the 4 were going to be the 3 and the 4, which meant that the team that was above them for a lot of the season was not going to be the 3 or the 4.
Indeed.
They lose 3 of 4 in the run-in. Mm-hmm. That includes, to Alex Pacine's joy, a 4-2 win on May the 7th, losing to Newcastle, losing to Chelsea on Tuesday, May 18th, and then by that same margin that they lost to Newcastle on decision day, Gareth Bale and his ponytail gets a double. Tottenham beats Leicester 4-2. So Leicester loses 3 of their last 4, in addition to winning FA Cup. They are the 5. They go to Europa League.
Hey, it's like we spoke about last week, where the winning the FA Cup, huge for Leicester City. The celebration was amazing. I loved watching, their team president down there dancing with them and celebrating and being pulled into the celebratory process. However, when I was watching that celebration, something to me just said, they're done.
Yeah,
it's a wrap.
Yeah.
They're letting out way too much emotion, way too much glee, way too much hype. The job's not done. And to me, like a team that said job done.
Yeah.
And it's just a vibe that you get from watching how, whenever you see somebody celebrate like winning the NFC title game or the AFC title game, and
happy to be in the Super Bowl.
Right. We're happy to be in the Super Bowl. And those guys who have done it repeatedly, you look at them and they're like, yep, on to the next one. We're on to the Super Bowl. We're happy. Yeah. Champagne. Okay, we're done. Let's go. Leicester looked like they were partying for I expected Claudio Ranieri to come dancing out of the back, all right,
Oh, and Badgermont did correctly identify what is pinned on Gareth Bale's head. It is not a ponytail. It is a man bun. He says it's a man bun. Thank you.
I wasn't corrected live, but yeah, it's a man bun.
Why? Go ahead and correct me live.
On certain things I would, but the thing is, for those of us who are more follically challenged, we just got to let some of that stuff slide, just because it's not something we deal with on a regular basis. But yeah, it's a man bun that Gareth is sporting on his head. I wouldn't doubt if his tea time card is tucked in there somewhere.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he's probably got a pencil from his last 18. His last course that he played.
That's the controversial thing the next place I'm going will cause controversy. Yeah, it's I'm trying out for the PGA Tour.
He's probably going to be the European Tour. West Ham gets 6 at 65 points. Spurs is 7th. They're going into the Europa Conference. They're in the new Europa Conference this year at 62 points, and Arsenal finishes 8th at 61. Leeds, by the way, wins their last 4. Finishes 9th. So Marcelo Bielsa finishes 9th for Leeds, and they got to celebrate at home for one of the home games in front of their fans at Ellen Road. So good stuff there. Rest of the table, Everton finishes 10th, obviously very disappointing for them. Villa finishes 11th at 55 points, and then you have the big gap to everybody else at the lower end of the table. Newcastle, by the way, here you go, Alex. Newcastle won 3 of their last 4 to finish 12th at 45 points, ahead on goals scored over Wolves, and your 90th tiebreaker. And so Wolves, they lose their last 3, limping in. They finish in 13th. Crystal Palace loses 3 of their last 4. They finish in 14th. Nuno Espirito Santo, remember, he's gone from Wolves. Roy Hodgson has gone from Crystal Palace. Southampton loses their last 2. They finish at 43 points in 15th. Graham Potter, who a lot of folks think could be the new head coach at Spurs, they finish 16th. Burnley loses 4 of their last 5, but they stay up at 39 points in 17th. And Fulham, West Brom, and Sheffield United are the 3 that end up heading to the championship. And I'm trying to see, who was it that was quite happy in the Twitch pitch about the Canary? You go, Sheila Shawn. Come on, you Yellows. Canaries back in the EPL will make a concerted effort to not be immediately deposed like last time. And so we have some Norwich fans in in both on Twitter and in the Twitch pitch. So Norwich and Watford, they're the two, and we are waiting for Brentford and Swansea to figure out who the third one is that will be joining everybody in the Premier League this season.
Katie Weaver's getting a hat with the UEFA Conference logo on it.
Oh, apparently they've also released a picture of the trophy that you get.
Pretty big trophy.
The trophy definitely in line with the Europa League trophy, so it was right there with it. So it's a
the Belk Bowl trophy was pretty large, if I remember correctly. It doesn't mean that it's prestigious or anything.
Yeah,
and boom goes the dynamite.
And then it broke.
It broke.
There's that.
I think the real question here is what happens now with Leicester City, right? Is there going to be a change?
Brendan Rodgers to Barca. Here we go.
Right, because now, and Brendan Rodgers now. I mean, he's starting to look like a Bond villain as he ages, but he absolutely his name is going to be tossed around now for all positions around Europe.
He says he ain't going.
He would be smart to stay.
Yes,
however,
I think he would.
He's said such things before.
Yes, he has.
But there are some questions. I think at the top of Tommy Tuchel. What's gonna how long is he gonna be? Because infamous Roman. You never know what you're gonna get out of Mr. Abramovich. He could wake up tomorrow and be like, Tuchel's gone. Like if he loses the Champions League final, then Tuchel could be out. That you must always keep Chelsea's name in play when it comes to management changes. Mm-hmm. At Leicester City, if Brendan says he's staying, okay. And then what happens with Everton? I mean, we expected Carlo Ancelotti to be able. They kind of went in and they invested in some talent and they brought James in, and I know that the Barcelos were like just absolutely thrilled to the moon that he ended up in the Premier League, but they're in 10th. So what's going to happen with Carlo, and where does he stay with Everton? Does he move back to Italy? Does he go? Does he walk away? I mean, there's I find it hard to believe that there's too much. There's that much more time on the calendar for him at Everton. I just find that difficult to believe. I just don't know if they're ever going to be able to field the team that he needs to be able to get them to a higher level.
According to the Daily Mail, Chelsea have complained to the Premier League.
Oh, God.
Is this what I think it is?
Their team bus was kept waiting outside Villa Park for 15 minutes. While the stewards, who were supposed to clear the way, ate ice cream. They were eating ice cream, and they said, "We're not clearing the way. You got to wait. This ice cream is good."
Ice cream, I'm not leaving either. No, whose bus?
Chelsea.
Oh, yeah, win. I got cookie dough Nutella right here. Yeah. I'm not going anywhere. Gaining weight right here. I'm not moving.
Chelsea even wanted to see if they could get the kickoff time pushed back because they were waiting, and everybody was like, "No, all the games start at the same time for a reason today."
Well, I mean,
right?
Yeah, but if you can't get into the stadium because the guys are eating ice cream, 15 minutes, no. But if they'd had to wait outside for like an hour and a half, you better push the kickoff.
Yeah, of course.
Go ahead.
Now, Villa sources say that Chelsea was supposed to get there at 2:30. They claim Chelsea was 10 minutes late, and then they were delayed by 7 minutes.
Oh. Those stewards eating ice cream, when that person came knocking on the door, ding, 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 bus is here. They said, "We got 2 fingers. Ask them which ones they want."
There you go.
That's exactly where it went.
Apparently, the ice cream had flakes and raspberry sauce in them.
Oh, that's fancy ice cream. Yeah,
of course. I'm not walking away from that.
Yeah.
Chelsea can wait.
Yeah. You're going to have to wait if there's flakes and raspberry sauce involved. The Independent has an article Some figures at Tottenham are now seriously suggesting that the club should reappoint Maurizio Pochettino.
There's not enough cocaine in the world to have that take make sense.
Oh no! You're not making you're not making a reference to your new champion band from Italy, are you?
Nope.
Oh.
Allegedly. They say that was not what was happening, but allegedly.
No, all I'm saying is if Spurs actually believe that they can and say, leave Paris. Leave Paris to come back here. I would like an Amazon special to be created that just watches his reaction to that phone call. Just give me one. Like it could be a 45-second show, including credits. I want that show on Amazon.
Pochettino at Bet Victor at 14-1. William Hill's got him at 18.
Sean Vergara says, if that happens, I'm done. I'm on the market for a new team. Wow.
Roll credits. Just a roll credits.
Wow.
Nuno's the leader in the clubhouse, followed by Ten Hag, Brendan Rodgers, and Graham Potter before we get to Pochettino.
You're not getting Ten Hag out of Ajax.
He's the only one that is worth trying to get out of that group. I'm sorry. Potter's okay. He's okay.
If you're not getting, again, if Barcelona's stupid enough to get rid of Koeman, if you're not getting him or you're not getting Ralph Rangnick, stop.
Maurizio Sarri.
No.
Gennaro Gattuso.
Sarri's at 20-1.
Gattuso to Spurs. Let's do it. He wouldn't fly in
England.
Come on, let's do it.
He'd be a great manager for him. He'd be a great manager for him, but he doesn't need to be in England.
I was waiting to start that hype train. Gattuso to Spurs. Come on.
That'd be awesome.
No, I want Gattuso in Florence.
Yeah,
get Gattuso in Florence and get him around some Florentine steak and watch what happens.
That makes more sense. I want him in London.
Power,
Spurs.
Hey, Gattuso, you want some juice boxes to put on Gattuso?
Yes.
Paddy Power has Gattuso at 60-1.
Yes, I'm in. I'm in.
That'd be amazing.
Gattuso in England would be nuts.
Incredible.
The media would kill him.
Unbelievable. And he'd kill the media with
a couple of reporters would be dead for sure, but
he would take out a spork and take out the dude from the Independent. I mean, it would be...
He's not completely alien to the UK. He played for Rangers for a bit, but there's no... And from my knowledge, I believe his wife is Scottish, so there's no... He's not alien to that world. However, no.
Sometimes maybe good, sometimes...
Come on. Yeah,
just saying.
Sometimes it maybe good.
Oh, that'd be epic. His press conferences would be must-see TV.
Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe...
Just saying.
Yep.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
And that's the thing. People forget this about Gattuso, man. He worked himself up from the Greek leagues. You know, he took over a Greek team that had not paid his bills in months, and that's where that clip came from. And so, I mean, the guy's paid his dues. He's not I know that people think that he's like this soccer Neanderthal. The guy has paid his dues. He's a good manager. I just want to see him in the right spot, and I think Fiorentina would be a far better spot than for him. And I think Spurs need to put their ambitions a bit higher.
So here's Gattuso's road: Sion in Switzerland, Palermo, OFI Crete,
yes,
Pisa, Milan Primavera, Milan, and Napoli.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I want Gattuso in the Premier League.
Let him go too early.
Please, I want.
Milan should not have cut him loose. They were a bit out over their skis on that one.
Yes, they absolutely did. All right, we got a couple other things to get to before we get to the picks of the week. France, Lille, they win the title. They were 17th 2 years ago. They sold a bunch of guys last summer. They win the title. They PSG had to better Lille's result. Lille won 2-1 at Angers. PSG did win. A most exciting French season in many years because somebody other than PSG won it. Their fourth title prevented PSG from winning a record equaling 10th. Lille is the champion. Lille is also now broke. Good times.
Yes.
And we'll see what happens with Lille. But they are champions. Tim Weah is a champion. On the rumor front, Kylian Mbappe, he wants to go somewhere or be somewhere where he thinks he can win. He didn't win a league title in France, just saying. Didn't win a Champions League either, just saying. He's got 1 year left on his contract. They're talking. He is playing hardball. He wants some guarantees, and we shall see what happens. The Telegraph is reporting that Tommy Tuchel, he wants Harry Kane, but Chelsea's concerned that Tottenham will refuse to do business with them, which I think is possibly accurate.
Yeah,
I don't see that one happening. And I mentioned it this morning, and I will continue to drive this hype train as well. Juan Mata doesn't know if he will stay at Manchester United. His contract is up this summer. MLS, Juan Mata, go get him. Go get him. I know he's 33. I don't care. He would come in the right team. You got to put guys behind him. You got to put midfielders behind him to do the work. You give him the keys as a playmaker with the right team, he'll light it up.
Who's the right team?
In the way that I think you'd need for him, let's see.
Inter Miami.
Well, they sign everybody. They have already got guys who do that. Let's see. New York City could be.
That was one.
New York City absolutely could be. Toronto doesn't need him now that they've added Soteldo, but they could have been on that list. Montreal could be interesting, but you'd have to get rid of a central midfielder because you've got Piet, you've got Wanyama, you've got Jordi Mihailovic. Like, he would fit the way that I think they want to play, but you'd have to make some decisions. Could you play Mihailovic somewhere else? Could you move on from Piet or Wanyama? We'll see. Let's see. Who else? LAFC, maybe kind of. LA Galaxy don't need him because they got Vasquez, and he kind of does the same things. Sporting Kansas City would be fascinating. Man, if you could talk Juan Mata, who, look, Kansas City does have a thing for getting Spanish midfielders. Mm-hmm. They've done this consistently. Juan Mata in Kansas City with Ilie, with Espinoza running around like a lunatic, kicking people. Juan Mata could work in Kansas City.
You're not going to get Juan Mata from Kansas City.
No, and well, see, and the thing is that I had NYC as a thought in my head for Juan Mata. Right. I didn't have LAFC because I think that LAFC is going to be chasing after Ochoa as their next DP. And so that's where I think
they won't have to get Ochoa on a designated player deal.
Dallas would be like, hey, come here, and then he would drive all the way to Frisco, and he'd be like, no way.
Juan Mata might like barbecue, Nick. You never know.
Well, there's a Rudy's right outside of that stadium, Toyota Stadium. Right?
Oh, not that barbecue. I think he'd like the Kansas City barbecue better.
Oh yeah.
Juan Mata.
I
don't know where else he's going to go. To be honest,
I don't want him. I'll be the one guy that's negative. I don't want him coming here.
I'm driving the hype train. I want Juan Mata.
Okay, that's cool. By all means.
Yes. Isn't Juan Mata like the nicest guy in football? Katie Weaver asks. Yes.
Absolutely.
Bring him here.
That's great, but doesn't mean I want him in the league.
I do want him in the league. I just
good.
Want to see where he
goes.
You
can disagree.
Yeah, that's fine. It's not the first time. We disagreed on some picks last week too, by the way. That is accurate.
Oh, set the table.
Let's go. Let's get it over with.
All right. Have the papers been filed yet?
Yes, they have.
They have.
He's filed. He said,
"Where are they folded in thirds with the nice blue?"
He said, "This bum's not capable of taking care of me, man."
Look at what he did.
Get him out of here.
Look at how he blew it on the final day. So
look how he blew it.
So we look at the picks of the week from last week, and do we need to look at what Jarrett did?
No, it'd be pretty quick.
What did he do?
Ofer.
Ooh, Jarrett Smith. That's why he's not here. He actually is here. We just haven't opened up his mic because he went 0 for 6. Sorry, Jarrett. John, what did you do?
Not much better. So keep going.
How many did you get?
I was 1-5 with a minus 563. I got the Chelsea one right, but that wasn't a whole lot of dollars attached.
Yeah, that was like nothing. Oof. Yes, today's show is like a Bielsa presser. It's madness, Sean Vergara. That's 100% true. Welcome to Monday.
We just don't have the PowerPoint presentation.
Yeah.
No,
you don't want that.
I would put it the old school, like where you push like the laminate up and you have the material. Yeah, that's coming.
You don't want that. So going into the final day of the week, what were the results going in? What were the numbers?
Both Nick and Jason were 2-3 at a minus 219.
Mm-hmm. So we were absolutely dead even going into the final day.
Dead even.
What was the final game?
Atalanta and Milan.
Atalanta and Milan. I think that was Nick's pick, if I remember correctly. He wanted that game. Who did Nick pick in that game, by the way?
I called it.
Nick picked Atalanta.
Oh. Who did I pick?
You picked Milan.
Oh. Who won?
I believe that would be not Atalanta.
I never gamble with my heart. I gamble with the brain. And that's proof. That's proof positive.
Not much of a brain, to be perfectly honest. Heart. I mean, come on now, really. You. This is what happened to you in this picnic. You lost the week. You were publicly disowned by your son.
Yes.
You got served by your kid.
You were served papers by your kid.
Yes.
For being a traitor to your club.
It's a separation notice here. It's an emancipation notice from Jackie Fresh.
It is.
How you doing, Nick?
I'm doing great. 5 by 5, baby. 5 by 5. Love it.
5 by 5.
Juve didn't win the Scudetto. Milan's back in the Champions League.
Mm-hmm.
Jackie Fresh had a donut over the weekend. He was okay. So I'm good, baby. I'm cooking.
5 for 5. 5 out of 5. 5 by 5.
5 by 5, baby.
5 by 5.
5 by 5.
Okay. Wait a minute. Let's see. So, 7's more than 5, isn't it? 7's a lot more than 5. We've done this 13 times. Everybody else on the show, how many times have they won, John?
Let's see. If we've done it 13 times, I think that means everybody else on the show's won 6.
Add them all up. Get the Twitch pitches help. Try to get the assistance from everybody. Oh my God. 6.
Is this a promo? Is there a promo coming?
Yeah, I think he's cutting. He's cutting.
I don't need to cut promos.
This is a Ring of Honor promo.
It's the whole Twitch pitch. It's John. It's Jarrett. It's Nick. All of you. All lumped into one.
This is a heel promo is what he's cutting.
It's a
all lumped into one. Making your picks. Trying to be the best. God. 7. Everything else. Everybody else. 6.
Oh, Bernd had a question. Doesn't Nick have to wear an Inter jersey for a year now?
Yes.
Negative. There's no bet I would take that involves me wearing there's no game of chance anywhere on earth that would involve me possibly wearing an Inter kit for a year. There's no. I don't care what. You could have Boy Scout Timmy from Troop 773 going against Mike Tyson in the Prime, and if Tyson knocks the kid out, then then I win. I guarantee you, little Timmy from 773 is going to win if it involves me wearing an Enter kit for a year. There's no way in the world I'm doing that. Thank you, though. Your comments appreciated.
Everybody else combining your efforts.
God.
6.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, this is
7.
This is a heel promo here.
7. What did Antonio Conte do? He dedicated the
Scudetto
to himself.
He went RVD. He went RVD.
He dedicated it to himself.
This is it.
I mean, it's just getting too easy, y'all. Like, come on. Wow. We'll see if the national team stuff gets
easy.
It's 7
versus. Took you all the way to the end.
7.
I made it. Okay.
7. Right. 7.
So what was the dollar amount difference if I had picked Milan? What would the dollar amount difference?
No, we would have been even. We would have been a dead even.
You would have been you'd have been dead even because you were both at a minus 219.
Yeah.
Wow. What would the tiebreaker? What would that have been?
No, it would have been a split.
It would have just been a split. We don't have tiebreakers around here. We would have shared the belt.
It would have been a draw for the week.
This reminds me.
No, we would have both been champions for the week. There's no draw for the week where you and Jarrett get anything out of that one. Come on now.
No. What I'm saying is that the two of you
we would have
been even. It would have been like a tie.
Right. This reminds me of the time when I was with NCAA.com and they because I was the low guy on the totem pole, they stuck me with like the A10 conference and all these others. And so I was watching like Atlantic State versus NYU, LIU Brooklyn, and so my bracket was incredible. Like I was like in the top 13 in the country because I had watched all of these games religiously, and the only way I was going to win was by picking Kansas over Kentucky. And this is when Anthony Davis was with Kentucky, and I was like, all right, I guess Embiid's got to do something super huge here, and it didn't happen. And I plummeted down to the 80th position. This is the same kind of thing. But I believe still that Atalanta should have won that game, and they fell asleep, which I did not expect them to do.
I told you. I went black helicopter on it, which is crazy.
I know you went black helicopter on it, but that's fine.
Napoli screwed up their end of the bargain, but
right.
Atalanta was asleep. They didn't want Juventus to get into the Champions League. Napoli screwed it up.
It happens.
It does. Okay. So, picks of the week. It's going to start to get weird now because, one, we're going to have a bunch of national team competition coming up with things happening. This week could be a very odd one with a random assortment of games. I get 2 picks. Jarrett's not here, so he doesn't get a pick. That goes into the community pick. One of the community picks will be the Champions League final because it has to be. I get a veto as well, and everybody else gets a pick, and we go from there. So tomorrow on the board, it's pretty much Copa Libertadores.
Yeah.
A little bit of Copa Sudamericana. We got some A-League. We got the Saudi Professional League going on tomorrow. We've got the second division in Chile. We've got the, I guess, second division in China. It might be even a different one. I don't know.
You've got the relegation match in Costa Rica.
Look, we have Beijing Tech playing tomorrow, okay? Beijing Institute of Technology. That's on the board. We've got the Cyprus relegation group battles.
Good Lord.
We've got the National League. We've got the Egyptian Premier League. So
Beijing Tech's a plus 309, by the way.
You have numbers on Beijing Tech?
Uh-huh.
If you're betting on Beijing Tech, you're the most degenerate gambler.
Wow, that's amazing. I didn't
most degenerate gambler.
I would have never
You really
guessed.
need help.
Yes, you absolutely do if you're betting on Beijing Tech. I wonder what their mascot is, by the
Give
way.
me 50 on Beijing Tech. Come on. Make that happen.
Speaking of Libertadores stuff, let's go ahead and have a little bit of fun with this before we get into the picks. So, a transfer rumor from Portal R7 in Brazil. Atlanta United have reportedly made an offer of $15 million for Rony, who is a winger/forward at Palmeiras. Contract talks at Palmeiras have stalled due to wage demands. He's valued at $7.7 million, but he is like the rising star at Palmeiras.
Okay.
It's not a crazy number. It's not a crazy rumor.
Who's hunting him again? Who?
Atlanta United.
Oh, okay, that team.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Heard of them.
He's 26. He's one of the rising stars in South America. But as we know with MLS, we have no idea what the salary cap and all that actually looks like. So I don't know how much room they have. They could buy Alan Franco down. That has been talked about from day one. But keep an eye on that one. We'll see what we can dig up, and we'll talk about it more in the morning. But that is popping off. Atlanta United Fan TV is sharing that information from Portal R7. Okay. I think we're going to have to go Libertadores here. And I am going to go with a game because Well, no, I don't know if I want to go with that one because it's too chaotic. River and Fluminense is probably the biggest game. I don't know where River's COVID situation is actually standing.
Yeah, I haven't heard an update,
Yeah, I don't know what they have, who they have.
Be brave, Jason. Be brave.
I don't know if I want to be brave on that. They are hosting it. Argentine domestic play was shut down due to an upswing in COVID cases in the country, but they're playing Libertadores games with teams coming in from other countries because that makes total sense. Yeah.
When does Libertadores ever make sense, though?
When does anything in South America ever make sense? I really don't know. I don't have an answer to that.
I don't know. But I love it so.
So we've got a wild bonus pick since Jarrett's not here.
Okay.
And we have numbers on Beijing Tech.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, that's the wild bonus one.
All right.
That's the wild card. So we are in the CFA China League Round 7.
Yes.
Oh, man.
It is Liaoning Shenyang Urban versus Beijing Institute of Technology. Neither team's actually doing all that great lately.
That is correct.
Liaoning is 2 wins out of 5. They're in 12th place. Beijing Institute of Technology, you have a crest with, I don't know what that is.
It looks like birds that are sort of shaped like a Christmas tree.
Yeah, they've won one of their last 5. I don't think we're going to have any stats on these teams, although that would be amazing if we did.
Beijing Institute of Technology Football Club, or simply BIT, was founded in 2000 initially as a college football team where they experienced significant success by winning 4 Chinese collegiate championships before deciding to enter the 2006 league campaign at the bottom of the professional Chinese Football League pyramid in the 3rd tier. After winning the 06 Division Championship, the club would comply with requirements of full professionalism by having their full-time students register as professionals, increase player wages, and gain sponsorships. They finished 4th in League 2 in 2020 and were promoted.
So they're a college team that's gone pro.
Uh-huh.
BIT.
Mm-hmm.
What are the numbers on this game, John?
Oh, okay. Well, I've got another piece for you after.
Oh, we got more. Oh, no, give us the bonus. What else we got?
On December 5th, 2016, Joan Oliver, the owner of Spanish club CF Royce, acquired a 29% stake in the club along with former president of FC Barcelona, Joan Laporta.
Ooh.
The deal would make them the first ever direct foreign owners of a Chinese club. Oliver, in his first press conference as owner of Beijing BIT, announced a permanent separation between the club's university team and professional team. So it is all Chinese footballers and your numbers.
See, Bernd is saying I'm going to start concealing COVID info in Argentina again. This is why we're not picking that. Gustavo says River has a completely recovered team, but we are not doing that.
Also, there were no numbers posted on that matchup.
That's fine. But we are going into something that none of us have ever seen before.
Shenyang Urban a -127. Your draw is a +224, and BIT is a +309.
I'm going. Jared will have to make his picks later via message. So actually, that would be you next, John.
I'm going with the Shenyang Urban FC. For the
okay.
win.
You're going with the home team.
Going with the home team.
All right, Nick.
Shizzle. Not BIT.
Not BIT.
Yeah, so you're going Shenyang Urban.
Yeah, there you go.
You're going with Keith Urban here.
Shenyang Urban. Yeah, there's really, let's go ahead and get mathematical about this here, right? The geometry, trigonometries, all the trees. I'm an expert in. Goals forced. That's 5. That's less than the 6 that Bit has put in. However,
BIT, show them respect.
BIT in their 6 matches, they've given up 14 goals.
BIT has given up 14 goals allowed there, and Shenyang they've allowed 7, which is less than the 14 of the other team. So therefore, I'm going to go with Shenyang Urban.
BITFC. Do they have a nickname? I don't think they have a nickname.
Yeah.
No.
I don't know.
I'm going to go draw.
Okay.
Just because. I think it gets stupid. I mean, come on, it's BIT. You throw the records out when
with BIT and Shenyang Irvin go at it, yeah,
they play one another. You throw the records out. It's an epic rivalry from way
like
back.
Texas A&M. You throw the records out, man.
Way back in Maction days, it's just chaos. So it'll be a draw. It'll be like 5-5, and something really stupid will happen, and it'll be fun. Okay, Wednesday. I will use one of my picks to make people happy and give the Europa League final. Villarreal, Manchester United. They are playing in Gdansk, right?
Poland.
Gdansk.
Gdansk.
They in Poland.
They're in Poland. Manchester United is a prohibitive favorite.
Accurate. Villarreal is a plus 379. Your draw is a plus 256. Manchester United a minus 120.
Your draw is the 90-minute result.
Yes.
Keep that in mind. If you think it's extra time or penalties, it is your going draw. Nick, you're up first.
Man United.
I think it goes to extra time. I'm going to go draw.
Ooh.
I think Manchester United wins it, but I think it goes to extra time. I think Unai Emery makes them sweat.
Yeah.
Go ahead and put those two losses right there in Jason's column to start off with.
Yeah. I'm right there with you. I think it's going to go extra time. I'm going to say draw in 90 minutes.
Put a loss in your own column while you're in there. For sure.
Fair enough.
Because being generous.
We'll see what Jarrett does. All right, Thursday. We've got Libertadores with a meaningless game between Defensa y Justicia and Independiente del Valle. Meaningless on the defensive side. They're into the knockout rounds. Independiente del Valle and Universitario are trying to get into the Sudamericana. They're both on the road. Palmeiras is hosting Universitario. Flamengo and Vélez. Vélez has not really done all that well. That's a huge line for Flamengo, so we're going to stay away from that. We have the first leg of the Liga MX playoffs, John, since you are the Liga MX expert. If you want to go with that one, that's on the board.
Nope.
We've got are you going to pick anything? I mean, at some point, y'all are going to have to pick something.
Yeah.
Like, I know what you do. I call out a bunch of games, nobody says anything, and then I'm like, okay, well, I'll pick something.
No,
so we
because
don't
we
just stand
know
here.
what you're waiting on, which is us to put out a game and then veto, and then pick like Uruguayan third division.
No,
so
I've never picked Uruguayan third division.
Game works.
I've never picked Uruguayan third division. That is a complete fallacy.
Yeah.
Complete fallacy. I don't watch the Uruguayan third division. Second division's a whole different story.
There you go.
We got Sudamericana, a bunch of games in Sudamericana. We got Liga MX. We've got a promotion, relegation playoff in Germany in the second division. We've got the Serie B promotion playoffs in Italy. Venezia's in it.
I'll do that one.
You want to do that one?
Cittadella. Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. We'll let that stand.
All right. So
it's two legs, and Venezia is up 1-0. Going into the second leg that they host. But this is just for the second leg.
Yes, this is just for the second leg. This is not for the series.
Okay.
Indeed.
So Venezia at home is a plus 124. Your draw is a plus 209. Cittadella is a plus 249.
And I pick first. And in their matches in the season... 1-1 draw at Cittadella and Venezia 1 at home. Last season, Cittadella 1 at home. All really narrow games. I am going draw and Venezia goes through. Draw. John.
I was going to go draw and Venezia goes through.
Okay, see how this is going to go again. All the strategies. Follow what I do. Nick.
I'm going to go 1-0 Venezia. My gut's saying draw because Venezia's draw machines, but I'm going to say it's going to be 1-0 because scared money don't make money.
Okay.
There you go.
Fair enough. Friday.
Don't do
that ever again. Ever again. We got Red Bulls 2 in Pittsburgh. We got Revolution 2 in Fort Lauderdale. We've got Ecuador, Olmedo, and Manta. We've got CAF Super Cup in Africa, Al Ahly and Berkane. We've got second division in Brazil. The Série B is getting underway with games. Botafogo is in the Série B now. That's not good. We've got the A-League with Western United and Melbourne Victory. We've got... no, I was looking to see if we had a... God, there's nothing.
All right, so what's left on the board? Mine and yours and a community?
The community's the Champions League final.
Okay, Champions League final. Okay.
Yeah. We've got the Irish First Division. Shelbourne and Galway United.
Oh, yeah. Let's do that one.
No.
I'll take Galway.
And we've got Finn Harps and Sligo Rovers from the Irish Premier Division. Kazakhstan's on the board for Friday.
Throw out the records.
Yep. Slovakia. We've got NWSL, North Carolina Courage, and Racing Louisville.
Let's go.
John, are you picking the second leg of the Liga MX, or what are you doing?
No, I'm trying to. Well,
You're waiting for people to tell you what to do. My bad. I'm sorry.
The community pick blocked the day that I was going to pick. So the Champions League final has eliminated that selection for me. So I have to go for another one. That's what I'm searching.
You're waiting for them to tell you what to do. It's okay. You can admit it. It's all good. They didn't help you much last week, by the way. I'm just telling you. You might need more people. You might need more people.
Let's do some USL. Why don't we do some USL?
Yeah, USL. Or we got NWSL.
USL and NWSL. What are we going to do?
I am tempted to go ahead. That's fine. We'll throw it on the board. North Carolina Courage and Racing Louisville. That is my pick.
All right. No lines currently posted, though.
That's fine. We're a couple games in. Louisville has a win and a draw. Courage, a loss and a draw. Racing Louisville is the new team in the league. They are tied for the top of the table with Orlando, with Reign, and with Gotham. And Courage is tied for the bottom of the table with Houston and Washington and Chicago. We don't have numbers, so we will have those updated once they go public. And Nick, you're up first.
I will be taking Racing Louisville because the North Carolina Courage got rid of Zerboni. So as a result of that, I have
they're dead to you at this point.
I'm not gonna say they're dead to me. I have less interest in their activities because they kicked my friend to the curb. So I'm gonna go Racing Louisville, and they got some scores on there. So they got Kaiser, they got Ekic. I'm up there. Let's go.
The hometown.
I am going with the Courage. I think at home they start to get it together and they get the win. John.
Yeah, I go with Courage, too, for the win there as well.
Are you just going to pick everything that I pick? I mean, seriously, man. Come on now.
I've already not picked everything that you picked.
I'm
trying to think which one you haven't picked. Okay. Anyway.
It was our boys at BIT.
Oh, because you picked first and I picked after you, so you couldn't pick what I picked. Got it. Champions League final, Saturday. Manchester City and Chelsea. That's not even a song, John. That doesn't even exist. Manchester City and Chelsea. 3 o'clock, Tommy Tuchel, Pep Guardiola. Tommy Tuchel's gotten the better of Pep the last couple of times. Chelsea is a slightly large underdog in this.
Manchester City's a minus 116. Your 90-minute draw is a plus 256, and Chelsea's a plus 362.
And I'm up first. This is a tough one because I have felt like Chelsea would get this win the whole way through. I did not expect that they would beat Manchester City in the league matchup and in the FA Cup semifinal. I didn't see that coming. I thought City would get one of those. It's very hard to beat a team 3 times in a row in, 5 weeks?
Yeah.
I mean, that's basically what we're looking at, 5.5, 6 weeks. City won the last time they played on January 3rd, but that was in the Frank Lampard era. So, Tommy Tuchel, has he figured out something about Pep? This is really important to Manchester City. Really important to them. It's important to Chelsea, but it is really important to City. I am very conflicted on this pick. I will say that it goes to extra time.
Okay.
So I am going the draw.
All right.
And I think Chelsea wins in penalties.
Ooh.
I think it'll be pretty tight. Chelsea will try to negate what City does, and it will be a tight match, and Chelsea will eke it out in penalties. John, your pick.
I think Manchester City gets it done in regulation. I think it's probably an 80th minute goal by Raheem Sterling on an assist from Kevin De Bruyne. I think it's going to be very tight in the first 45. I think that Chelsea will have some chances, but I'll go with Manchester City in regulation.
Sean Vergara is trying to yell at me like, you got to stick with Chelsea. I did, but man, that's tough to beat a team 3 times. I think it's a really tight one. Nick, what you got?
I think Tommy Tuchel's got it. I'm not going to say anyone has Pep figured out, but I'm going to say that his particular type of poison causes Pep a few more headaches than the average bear. And also there's the issue of apparently Guardiola does not get along with the center official as well. He does not get along with it. He's heavily criticized is what ESPN says.
Yes.
I'm throwing that little bit of extra
that is
fury in there. And I will say that it's Chelsea
Whoa.
Who gets it. I know.
In regulation.
In regulation.
Okay.
Wow. All right.
Sunday.
Save money, don't make money.
John, it's your pick on Sunday.
It is the League One promotion final.
Veto! Get that crap out of here. Pick another
Why
one.
did I know that you were going to go there?
Because it's garbage. Get that crap out of here. Pick another one.
Waiting. We've been waiting for that veto.
Blackpool and Lincoln City, get out. Get out.
Molyneux of veto.
Get out. just leave. Pick something else. Garbage.
Oh, that's
What's your backup?
awesome.
I know you had another one because that was probably expected.
Why did I know that you were going to go there?
Because it's crap.
We're going A-League.
Okay. You don't know anything about the A-League. That's fine.
Western Sydney Wanderers and the Brisbane Roar.
Okay. A toss-up game, too. So this could go a lot of different directions. They played about 5 weeks ago. Brisbane won at Western Sydney. They played a few weeks before that because the A-League format's just craziness, and it was a draw at Brisbane. This one is at Western Sydney. Western Sydney comes in back-to-back losses, one of them a 5-1 to Perth Glory. Eek. And they lost the Sydney Derby to Sydney FC 1-0 in their last time out. Brisbane won their last time out over the Newcastle Jets on the road. They lost at Adelaide. They drew versus Central Coast Mariners. They lost to Melbourne City. They're all over the place, Brisbane Roar. The league table, Brisbane is in 6th, which is a playoff spot. Western Sydney is 3 points behind them. Brisbane has a game in hand. Brisbane and Western Sydney. Let's see if there's any players we've heard of. Western Sydney's best player this season is Mitchell Duke. I think we've talked about him. A 30-year-old Australian forward. He's got 6 goals and 2 assists in 16 games. He's their highest-rated player this season. That's not all that great. Brisbane. Brisbane has a pretty cool logo. That's a bonus point. Their best player this season is a midfielder, Corey Brown, a 27-year-old lefty Australian who has 7 assists on the season in 21 games. Not bad. I will, in light of that news, I will go with Brisbane.
Okay.
I like Corey Brown. He's a good player. Totally. Where's number 3? 3's the magic number.
Yes, it is.
It's accurate.
Okay.
John.
I'm going to go draw.
You're going to go draw. Okay.
Yep.
I will follow with the Brisbane pick.
Okay. So we will see where this goes. 7 wins out of 13 for me.
Just go ahead and RVD it up since we're at the end of the show. Go ahead.
Okay. 7. How many wins does Nick have? I think he's second. That's good.
I think Nick has 3, Jared has 2, and I have 1.
Yeah, I mean that's nice. That's nice.
Nice.
Okay.
That's nice.
Yeah,
It's less than half of what I have, but it's okay.
Okay, it's great. Marvelous.
And you got your son mad at you with your last pick that lost you last week.
Yeah, give me one.
Looking for another prop?
Hold on.
What other
We now
props do
go
you
live.
have?
We now go live to someone who doesn't care. What do you think? We don't care, Jim. Back to you in the studio.
Waiting for Jackie Fresh to come in with a steel chair at this point. I see the Twitch pitch was trying to get John to take the promotion playoff in the German women's Bundesliga. Is that correct?
Yeah, but Wolfsburg was at a minus 833, and unless you really wanted to flip that script, Eintracht Frankfurt's at a plus 1100.
Does anyone know what's going on here?
I like that Will is keeping track of everybody's results. 3 wins for Nick, 2 for Jarrett, 1 for John. He had it down.
Yep.
The other 7 are in my column. Just saying.
Good.
7, 3, 2, 1. That's 6. Okay, I got it. Just making sure. Just wanted to check the math.
Okay.
No, you got to do that sometimes.
It's all right.
You got to make sure. This might be interesting to follow. Luis Suarez has given a tell-all interview. It is interesting to follow. Hello, Luis Suarez.
Go.
This is from Partidazo Cope in Spain. He first question was about Ronald Koeman.
Uh-oh.
I saw that he had no personality, nothing. Koeman, after saying that he did not count on me, then he told me, if tomorrow this is not solved, then I will count on you.
Damn.
Wow.
What?
Well, look. People said the same thing about Frank, right? That he didn't have, it's this very dry Dutch presentation, right? Not all Dutch are like that. I know a few Dutch folk, but they can at times, when they are in business mode, be very dry and deliberate. And there is no kid gloves when it comes to the Dutch. That's very true. They will absolutely smash your ego with like 4 words and that fantastic Dutch accent in the process. So, it's not for everybody.
It's true. Sorry, and I had it was a promotion playoff in Germany. The women's Bundesliga is not. It is the cup final. My bad. That's my mistake.
There you go.
Sorry, I don't get the Twitch pitch information to help me with my selections and picks of the week.
Wow.
I skipped that. Part 2 from the interview with Luis Suarez. He wore the same shoes for the final 2 matches of La Liga. He scored 1 goal.
Suarez or Koeman?
Suarez. I don't know. He doesn't know what Ronald Koeman wore. Ronald Koeman shipped him out of town, and he went and won a title at Atleti. He scored 1 goal with the right boot and 1 goal with the left boot. That's pretty cool. That's a pretty special pair of shoes.
I don't feel like we've entered tell-all territory yet.
Let's see. He's being stubborn after missing several chances. That's not too crazy. Marcos Llorente helped him versus Valladolid. Okay. Luis Suarez, I'm being angry with Diego Simeone. The first time he took me off, I told him that I am usually angry with myself. I was happy after Osasuna, but also upset because we suffered because of me for the goals that I missed. Okay. Luis Suarez and how Barcelona disrespected him.
Here we go.
Firstly, for the president to say everything to the press before talking to me, they would use me to try to convince Leo to stay. But then they wouldn't talk to me directly when it was about me. Ooh, that's kind of bad.
That's problematic.
That is problematic. Diego Simeone today on Luis Suarez's arrival said Suarez came with difficulties from Barcelona, but with a rebellious attitude of a 20-year-old. That's accurate. With such enthusiasm, that is admirable. When I saw that, I said, this year could be good. Cholo was correct. Talking about the tiring schedule, Suarez said, our bodies get tired. Now the Copa America ends and off starts La Liga. Then right after, you have the national team again. Players need to rest. It's incomprehensible. Something needs to be canceled. Luis Suarez is correct again.
Mm-hmm.
Luis Suarez on his first interaction with Diego Simeone. He sent me a WhatsApp saying he was going to call me, and he did. El Cholo, for those who know him, he can sell you the Vatican. He convinced me, though. I didn't need much to go. I can imagine Cholo being very convincing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, dog, I've got this big house, and it's in the center of Italy.
I don't think Cholo actually has tried to sell the Vatican. If he did, that'd be kind of weird. And I don't think he'd ever say, yo, dog. I can't imagine Cholo saying that.
It's popping.
No, that's not how he talks. Luis Suarez final one. Again, not much of a tell-all, but there's a couple little nuggets here. On Spain manager Luis Enrique, who, if you remember, Luis Enrique is a coaching mentor in a lot of ways to Gabriel Heinze. Mm-hmm. This is Suarez. Luis Enrique is the best coach I have ever had for the personality that he has, for what he transmits, and for the sincerity that he has with players. That's a strong statement because, Luis Suarez has played for a lot of different managers, a lot of really big-time managers. Mm-hmm. And he says Luis Enrique is the best one.
All right, fair.
Not too crazy. I mean, the Barcelona stuff is what's going to get the headlines.
Yeah. The tell-all for me would have been if he had said, yeah, I paid to have the language test in Italy done.
Oh, that would have been good.
That would have been tell-all for me.
That would have been really good.
Yeah.
That would have been excellent. I'm going to make sure that he didn't say anything about the test. I'm going to check elsewhere. Maybe they wanted to skip that part.
Search that.
Yeah, I'm going to make sure that one didn't pop up somewhere. It doesn't appear that it was. I think he might have skipped that one. Oof. That would have been amazing. I think that's going to do it. Is there anything else on y'all's list? Anything else we need to discuss that we have not?
Milan has signed a new keeper. Donnarumma may be on the way out, or is Milan playing hardball with Mino Raiola? This is going to be one to watch because now they have Champions League cash, and Mino Raiola wants ridiculously high wages. Milan wants to keep it within check because they're owned by a vulture hedge fund, and so it's going to be something to keep an eye on. That's the last thing I had.
I got something else to keep an eye on.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. Man, we're gonna need a sounder for this at some point because it keeps coming back up. I don't have one. I'm gonna go with this. So, Nicholas Bentner, the latest on old Nicholas Bentner. It's in multiple different places around the world. This is in Danish. This is in English. This is in Australia, which is the one that I decided to click on. Remember old Nicholas Bentner's girlfriend, Feline? No. They split up.
Yeah, mm-hmm. And she got the new condo and made the video that put Pier 1 to shame and had the dog on the white sofa and all that.
Yes. Headline: former Arsenal striker Nicholas Bentner's girlfriend, it should be former girlfriend, matches with Spider-Man star Tom Holland.
Okay.
Feline has revealed that she split up with Nicholas Bentner and hooked up with Spider-Man star Tom Holland.
Well, okay.
Also, Bentner was pictured earlier this month, remember, sharing an ice cream with a mystery blonde.
Yes,
that is still out there as well. So Feline is now going on TV shows and talking about how she matched up with Holland, an English actor, on the exclusive Raya dating app.
Why is the Raya dating app so exclusive?
You got to be special to get into that, I guess.
It's allegedly Ben Affleck was on one of these dating apps too before by beam of light from Jesus or something. He got J-Lo back. I don't know how.
He got J-Lo back on a dating app?
No, he just got J-Lo back. Period.
I thought it was a dating app that brought them back together. That'd be amazing.
But somebody on Bumble, or one of these apps, matched with Ben Affleck, and Ben, like, she apparently was like talking to him, didn't believe it, and so then he sent a video through confirming his identity.
That's right.
And then, like, apparently he was really weird or whatever. But then again, by beam of light from Jesus, he gets J-Lo back, which I have no remote clue. I mean, good for you, I guess. But I don't understand why Tom Holland needs the dating app.
Yeah, you're Tom Holland.
Yeah, he's obscenely fit.
I don't know.
Playing Spider-Man, he can drop the English accent. He can do all that stuff. He can get access to the best clubs and venues, and now he is dating Nicholas Bentner's ex.
Yes.
Who wanted to do a reality show.
Yes. Did a reality show.
Man, Holland, whoever's Tom Holland's agent,
back away.
She is going on TV shows to talk about how she matched with him on a dating app.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap.
I mean,
she's going to try to be in a Marvel movie now.
She said, I really like Spider-Man, but I think he's a bit short for me. I just Googled him, and he's 5'7", so it might not work. I'm a little too tall. I'm 5'10", so if I put on high heels, it's going to be a little weird. She also said, Instagram and Raya are all the places where I can connect with boys.
Oh.
Well, look, first of all, I've dated 5'10" women in my life. It doesn't bother me in the least. So that's more of a her problem than it is a him problem for sure. And I guarantee his bank account could shut you down in 0 time. So, yeah, she may have matched with him.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah,
but she's already throwing dirt on the whole thing. It's like, I might be too tall, and she's just doing that to get noticed.
That's it.
Yeah. Hey, look! Hey, look! Right. Tom Holland.
Bingo. And also, to add to old Nicholas Bentner's woes, he is due in court charged with 7 driving offenses and faces having his $438,000, that's in Australian dollars, Porsche seized. He faced trial in district court last month, but his case was adjourned when his lawyer fell ill. So that's still hanging over Nicholas Bentner's head, and now he's hearing about his ex matching with Spider-Man on dating apps.
Okay, so 438,000
Australian dollars.
Australian?
Yes.
Into U.S. dollars convert. That is a $340,000 car.
Where's he getting that money? Because he's been really dumb with his cash.
Mm-hmm.
He's been really dumb with his cash.
Well, he signed that deal with a online betting brand.
Mm.
And he drops it all on a $340,000 car.
Yeah, he wanted to be their spokesperson, so
bruh.
Get
a Volkswagen.
Bruh.
I mean,
get a Volkswagen. Get your money right.
I guess. Oh no, now Nicholas is giving interviews.
Oh,
here we go.
He revealed that he misses Feline very much.
He's a chicken. Get out of here.
I guess they're still doing the show. By the way,
yeah. Well, they see, but that's got to be the new chapter in the series after the breakup. I mean, that's the new season
continuing.
So it's all a work. It's all a work.
The show is continuing.
They need to get hype. So they're broken up, right? And this is the work. This is the falling out, and then
Spider-Man and
obviously they need
cars.
a name recognition, so they have to drop a big Euro star. Who's the big Euro star at the moment? It's Tom Holland. So you're gonna drop Tom Holland because he's tied to the Marvel movies and whatnot. And so this is what happens. It's a work. It's WWE is more realistic than this mess.
He said he does not miss everyday life with Feline, but he misses her very much.
Oh, I'm sure
this is Real Housewives of Nicholas.
He
Bentner.
revealed
That's
that
all
on the show.
No, cut a promo, buddy. Just cut a promo.
He kind of did. All right, Nicholas Bentner is still facing trial. He might lose his car. He's got 7 tickets he's got to deal with, and he's very sad. So it's a rough time for old Nicholas Bentner. I think that'll do it. I think we've hit all the ground when we talk about Nicholas Bentner being sad. So that'll call it for the night. We'll see how the picks of the week go next week. Maybe somebody can actually get another win outside of me. It'd be nice. I like competition. Just saying.
Wow.
We're gonna get some more picks in this week. It's gonna be a big time. Back to you in the studio, Jim.
Call Jimmy the Greek and call Sammy the Snake and whoever else you want to get to try to help you. Just, we'll see how it goes. All right, Nick, send us home.
Until next time, everybody. Mucha, mucha Euro, y'all.
All the lira.